Hey guys, I wanted to make some corrections from my last video. Uh, I said, okay, first of all, I checked the reference, um, and it was Esther 2 I was talking about. So, um, so if you start from Esther 1, you get the Vashti story, and then Esther 2, one of his one of the king's advisors comes to him and says, "Oh, you don't need her. We'll just get another woman." And then in my first video, I said, um, the king got mad at Mordecai. No, Mordecai is Esther's uncle, and the king had nothing to do with Mordecai. I guess I was reading too fast, and I kind of confuse the two in my head. So I'm sorry about that. But the Vashti thing did happen. She refused to come to him and he got apoplectic again. So that stuff did happen. But the stuff with the king and Mordecai didn't happen. That was my error. And I'm sorry for that. And in case you didn't read in the description of my last video, I forgot to mention when you're talking about the marriage law, the marriage law can be changed according to societal norms and societal changes. Um, and then the marriage covenant cannot be changed because the marriage covenant was instituted by God. One man, one woman, and God. That's what it was in the garden, and that's what it is now. Um, and although we have to enter into marriage law because it's um, society's way as Christians, the marriage covenant is stronger because it's between one man, one woman, and God. And the marriage law is between two people and the government, and it changes according to um, societal norms and how it operates. And I was thinking about it too. And I was thinking maybe that's why they were able to have two and three wives, because in those days the marriage law was looser. Like, a man could have more than one wife, and they weren't under the covenant. In those days they were under law. So I was thinking maybe that pertained to marriage too, because in that society at that time it was allowed. In our society, polygamy is not allowed, but in that society, it was allowed. So the marriage law was that you could have more than one wife. But the marriage covenant, the one that God established, um, uh, between one man, a born male, one woman, a born female, and God, is um, first a thing that God puts together. It's a holy thing. The marriage law is a legal thing. So That's what I was thinking. Anyway, guys, have a good night. Sorry for the mistakes. Uh, Sorry for the mistake. At least I made the correction. It would be so much easier if pastors and leaders and business leaders would just say, "I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I misread that. I misspoke that. I shouldn't have said that." It would be such an easier world because people forgive humanness. Most people um, forgive humanness, but what they don't forgive is lying and trying to cover up the truth. People value authenticity, and people value vulnerability, and people value truth. So if more people would stop hiding and stop covering up the truth, thinking that their lives are so perfect and they don't make a mistake, and if they would just come back and say, "I'm sorry, I didn't read it right," or I was in error there. It doesn't say that. Or even "I don't know." "I don't know" has a lot of power too. If you don't know, say "I don't know." People understand that you're human and you don't know everything. It's better than pretending that you do know something and telling people the wrong thing. Just come clean and be honest about it. Just say, "I screwed up. I messed up there. I didn't read that probably." It would be so much simpler. It would be less drama if we did that. And there's no reason to feel embarrassed if you get it wrong. We've all gotten it wrong. All you have to do is admit it and say, "I did it. It was wrong, but I lost control, or I misread, or I misspoke, and I'm sorry." That's it. Cause I told um my one quick last point. I listen to a lot of true crime. It's weird because um I just do, because the voices and everything help me go to sleep. It's weird. I know. So but when I listen to these true crime, you're in there with the murderers. They did it, but they cover it up. But they're like, "No, I didn't do it," when they know they did it. So they caused the government and everything, but they just spent all this time and all this money to defend them instead of just saying, "I lost control. I killed her. She drove me crazy. We got in a fight," or "I wanted money and I thought the biggest, the biggest thing I could do, the best thing I could do was to murder her." It doesn't sound good, but at least it would save a lot of time if they would just come clean about what they did and why they did it instead of saying, "No, we didn't do it because of this. No, we didn't do it because of that." So you spend time with investigators and trying to find out the truth and going to trial. And when you know you did it, you know you stole that money, you know you killed that person, you know you messed up there, instead of admitting the truth. There's power in admitting the truth. There's freedom in that. And there's no need to be embarrassed. We're all human and we all make mistakes. But can you be man or woman enough to come clean about those mistakes? So, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.